we stand, we would have our pledge to our prayer.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Let's pray. Dear God, our Father in heaven, dear Lord, thank you once again for this day and all so many blessings that you bestowed upon each and every one of us here today. Dear Lord, thank you for this weather being gone. Dear Lord, may we get back to our everyday lives, dear Lord. Thank us to serve you better, dear Lord. Dear Lord, this is the night as we here to better the schools, better the children here, dear Lord. May everything we do be pleasing in your sight, dear Lord. Dear God, as always, watch over each and every one of us. Give us a home in heaven thee. In Christ's name that we pray. Amen. Amen.
I would like to welcome everyone here tonight. At this time, I will go ahead and entertain a motion to approve. Made by Ms. Naylor, seconded by Ms. Carter. Any discussion? All in favor say aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Next, we have our consent agenda. The only thing in the consent agenda is the January 13th minutes. I entertain a motion for that. Motion made by Mr. Dawes.
Second.
Second by Mr. Davis. There is no discussion on that. All in favor say aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Our next item is a public comment, and no one signed up for public comment. So at this time, we'll move right into our Teacher of the Year recognition, and I'll turn that over to Dr. Smith.
First of all, thank you all for coming out tonight. At least we're able to get here after the last 2 weeks and enjoy each other's company. But we're here to celebrate 9 special people tonight, and they are here because they have been chosen by their peers in their buildings as the 2026 Teacher of the Year for each one of their schools. So we're very proud of their accomplishments. It takes special people, and all of these people are very special people. So we're going to have, when I call the school, if the principal will come up, they're going to introduce their Teacher of the Year to you. So we're going to start with Bolivar Elementary School.
I'm Ginger Crow, and I'm principal at Bolivar Elementary, and I just want to recognize our Teacher of the Year. She's been teaching for 34 years. She's usually the first one in the building and the last one to leave. She is faithful about being there, and I never have to worry about her class. I never have to worry about her kids. She's just a great all-around Christian woman, and she does a great job teaching. And our Teacher of the Year is Miss Deborah Ford.
Bolivar Middle School.
If you will, don't get too comfortable, because we're going to take a group picture of everybody.
He said enough about a young lady that came to us, so third year now. 25 years experience in Mississippi. She drives the bus for our track and cross country. She does after school. She did workshops for our students for Christmas ornaments and Mother's Day projects, and it's been a blessing to us. To do anything as to do, she got power back home like 2 days ago. And she made it to school the first day back. So it says a lot. Miss Vicki Sellers.
Miss Avian could not be here tonight, so I'm going to stand in. She's going to pretend that it's her up here reading this because she wrote it. Bolivar Central High School's Teacher of the Year is someone who takes competition to a whole new level. While he may be the most competitive person I know, that drive extends far beyond the classroom. As a level 5 teacher, Coach Jordan Stack consistently demonstrates what it means to serve students on all levels. After working with him for several years, including serving alongside him on the administrative team, I have seen how he uses that same competitive nature to be the best father, husband, teacher, and colleague he can be. He is a true role model for all of our students, fair, consistent, and deeply respected, which is why his students love and trust him. He truly embodies what it means to be the Teacher of the Year, and we are honored to celebrate him tonight. Jordan Stack.
We're happy at Grand Junction, so you have to speak to us. Good evening. Our teacher of the year, this is her 5th year at Grand Junction Elementary School. She has taught 7th grade all 5 years. She has high expectations for her students. She is a calm, supportive, and a wonderful team player. The acronym that I would use to describe her mostly would be caring. C stands for compassion, A, attentive, R, respectful, I, inspiring, N, nurturing, and G, gentle and guiding. Our teacher of the year is Miss Shelby Webster.
Hornsby Elementary, sorry I didn't get the alphabet for you right, so I'm sorry. Linda, that took all that from us. 20 years teaching school, best 5th and 6th grade math teacher in the world. Teaching tutoring in the morning, 7:30 in the morning. She was the sponsor of Beta Club. She is the sponsor of Science Club. She teaches 5th grade history, teaches 5th grade science. She is my Title I coordinator. She is my teacher leader, teacher mentor. And now you are, data coordinator as well. And I'm probably leaving more out, but anyway, Rachel Ross, thank you.
Brad Pounders, principal at Middleton Elementary. I'll say a few nice things about our teacher of the year. She's a team player, been teaching for many years in pre-K. She has a heart for children. I joke with her, I think that's because you're on their wavelength sometimes with the 4-year-olds, but she's awesome in the classroom with her 4-year-olds, and it extends beyond that. I'll give you an example of this year. We had a teacher in kindergarten that was out on maternity leave. Miss Susie wore both hats there for a while. She helped out in kindergarten while also making sure pre-K was running smooth. She's just a team player. You watch her interact, not with just her 4-year-olds, but you watch her interact with the 5th and 6th graders even that had her 5, 6 years ago, and she's still one of their favorite people. How she interacts with them on a daily basis tells you that once you're her student forever. And our teacher of the year at Middleton Elementary is Miss Susie Kessler.
Middleton High School, our teacher of the year has been with us at Middleton High School for 13 years. He's involved in a little bit of everything. He has taught middle school social studies. He's in high school. He's also taught just about every subject you can have in social studies. Most recently, he's been our U.S. history teacher, where he was a level 5 teacher this past year. He drives a school bus. He's coached football. He's the middle school and high school baseball coach. This is one that might be surprising for those that know him. He's also been our pep rally coordinator. Because he thought a couple years ago, he said the pep rallies were boring for the kids, and so he took them over, and he's done a great job with that. He's our data coordinator. He's on our data team at school, helps us dive in to that data, and he's our work-based learning coordinator. As I'm standing up there, I'm just thinking of more and more things that he's involved with. So he's definitely a team player. He bleeds tiger orange. Our teacher of the year is Terry Mills.
Teacher of the year for Toon Elementary School is Miss Shannon Rogers. She has 19 years experience, 16 at Raymer Elementary in McNairy. She's been with us for 3 years. Funny thing, she's only taught math for 3 years at the middle school level. So that gives you some idea about her preparation and dedication to our students. Heck, I could say all the accolades everybody else is saying about her, but not only that, she coaches boys and girls basketball. She does or helps with our production of the spring play with extended school day. And she's up for West Tennessee Teacher of the Year, if I'm not mistaken, with the middle school grade band. So we're tickled to death, and I'll put her against any dang person in this district, excuse my language, but Miss Shannon Rod.
Good afternoon. I've asked Ms. Jones to come stand with me so that you all can give her the attention and I can describe to you what all she does. But Ms. Jones is so dedicated. She does such a great job with our scholars. She has been in education for 32 years. In all 32 years, she has been at Whiteville Elementary School. So that says a lot about her dedication and her commitment to the school, to the community, and to those scholars. She's caring. She's making a big impact on our scholars in our community. She believes that all scholars can learn, and it's the little things that make such a big difference. She is one of the first to arrive. She beats me there some days, and she's one of the last to leave. And even on the weekends, if something comes up, she's texting me or calling me. She's always thinking about ways to get better and taking care of our scholars. She knows everybody. Many of our scholars' parents were her students, and even a couple of grandparents, if I'm not mistaken. So again, she's so wise and experienced and a veteran, but seriously, she's on the leadership team, summer school teacher, extended day learning tutoring. She's a teacher leader, mentor, Beta Club sponsor. She's been a coach at Whiteville. She's taught science and social studies grades 5 through 8. And this year, we added a new content to her plate, and she took it with grace. She's doing the absolute best she can. It was not ideal, but she loves our scholars, and she loves me. So she did that for us. But seriously though, she has very little issues in the classroom with scholars' behavior. She's a mother, she's a counselor, she's a friend. She does so many things for the staff and the scholars. Scholars feel safe in her classroom. They are successful because she is so nurturing and supportive. She's one of the best that I've had the privilege to work with. I appreciate the opportunity. Congratulations, Mrs. Jones. Great things are happening at WES because of great people like you. Thank you.
Everyone will come up, the principals and the teachers of the year. And while you're coming up, we've gone over our principals here. I want to tell you how much we appreciate you guys. We don't know what we're doing without you, and I know you're going to relax and help us along the next year. We appreciate it. Thank y'all very much. our school calendar, you've got it in your packet, it's there on the screen. As always, we approve our school calendar, so does anybody have any questions, or do you wanna ask any questions about it?
We sent an email out that explains the differences in these and kind of how we arrived there, the number of votes that the teachers had turned in, et cetera.
I do have a question. I guess those 5 days that you, I guess, that it was on that email, when will you know about those? I mean, when did that?
We found out this afternoon, it's in the director's report.
Okay.
We got 4 to 5.
About 4 of the 5? Okay. We'll figure it out, we'll call
So you can see it.
Do I have a motion that we, as you see, which I did not take notice to, was the most, voted on by most employees, and it's the one that's recommended. Do I have a motion that we approve?
No, what this is A with the professional development days at the end. So that in the event, it gives them their full break at Thanksgiving. I think that's what they all want, so they get that. What we did after, because we did this vote prior to the winter storm. When the winter storm hit and we used all of our days right there, we decided to back up and put some PD days toward the end of the year. That way, if we run into that situation again, we can pull those back and use those as student days. It just gives a little more flexibility in inclement weather. So it's the same calendar that they chose, we just moved some PD days at the end. But it gets the full, start date's the same, Thanksgiving break's the same, Christmas break's the same, spring break, fall break.
Do I have a motion?
I'll make a motion.
Motion made by Mr. Davis. Second by Ms. Ayler. Any more discussion or questions? All in favor say aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Next is our district calendar. See that up there, and you also have it in your packet. Anything you want to address on that one?
It's pretty much the same as it is this year.
I have a motion, we approve the
I'll make that motion.
district calendar. Motion made by Ms. Carter. I'll second the motion. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. And last, we have our board meeting calendar. It's not in there? Okay. They have it in their packet.
Yes. That one is the second Tuesday, except for the October that's ostracized. It falls on fall break. So it's the week before.
We do have December in there. In the past, we have not had a December meeting, but we have the last couple of years, we've ended up having one. So should we not need one, when we get to that point, we can make that decision to drop it if need be. Do I have a motion, we approve our board meeting?
I'll make a motion.
Motion made by Mr. Swift,
Second.
seconded by Mr. Ford. Any discussion? Okay, all in favor say aye. Any opposed? That motion carries as well. Okay, next we have our impartial hearing officer list, and I'll turn that over to Dr. Smith.
This is something that, our board attorney recommended we go ahead and have approved. This is in the event we need an impartial hearing officer for something such as a due process, a DHA hearing, whatever it may be. It saves a meeting or a special call meeting for you to have to come in and approve an impartial hearing officer. So she sent a list of people in West Tennessee and close to Middle Tennessee that we can choose from that are already approved.
So we would be voting to use any of these
Correct.
attorneys? Okay.
And we would choose if we get to a situation from the list, but this just gives you one step ahead in the list in case you get to that point.
I think Jennifer and I were at Hardin County's school board meeting one night, and they do this, they have a list of attorneys, and really, I thought it was really a great idea. And we kind of brought that idea back.
Who'd you say sent these?
Yeah, talk to the board attorney.
Oh,
Any more questions? Okay, do I have a motion that we approve all the attorneys on the impartial hearing list?
I'll make that motion.
Ms. Carter,
Second.
seconded by Ms. Ayler. Again, any discussion? Any questions? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Yes, we don't have any policies tonight. So now we're going into the budget committee review. We're gonna start with the school budget. Mr. Pope, Mr. Ross, I think we forgot to draw the short straw to see who's gonna do this. So do either one of you wanna volunteer?
Thanks. Well, we did have a skeleton crew of our budget committee to meet on Monday yesterday. And we have, I believe, 6 budget amendments all pertaining to the general purpose fund. But before that, we have something, I don't guess it's necessarily new in the fact that our principals have also always kind of had a spending plan, and as far as knowing what money they had to work with throughout the year and so forth. But after our district level audit in December, they sent a letter and outlined components of what they would like to see. I guess it's a requirement for the components of the general school budget. And I think all of our principals almost fainted on the beginning, that after they kind of regained their composure, they jumped in there and with the assistance, central office and everyone have come up with a synchronized budget for their schools. There's 4 components that are kind of basic to these budgets, and I think you see it on the screen, and this was also in the drive. These things have to be, are necessary to be in there: the beginning balance, beginning general fund balance, then your estimated revenues throughout the year, your proposed expenditures, and then what you're gonna end up with, the estimate of that. And, there's some reasons for that, for everyone having a budget of like kind. And speaking personally, the first one that mentions there about repeat findings, I think this has always been a problem with our audits of our schools, and this will help alleviate that. And also, you hear a lot about transparency today and consistency throughout the schools and the district, and it will certainly add to that, and it will allow our principals and so forth greater planning and oversight of their school funds. Now, in the drive, I think there were about 87 pages. They've all done their budgets. It's not a whole lot. I'm sure all of y'all read all 87 of the school budgets, so you have had ample opportunity at least to read, each school's budget. I wish Miss Avent was here so I could brag on her. She's got all kinds of activity funds and so forth, so I imagine she was pretty stressed out by the time she got through with it. But anyway, the principals understand did a great job on it and so forth. And we've been recommended, the budget committee has been recommended, to require this, I guess, each year, as well as this year as well, according to Section 4, Title 10 of our internal school funds manual. So, and then the fact that I know that you all have access to their budgets, and any further discussion, it will come as a recommendation from the budget committee to approve these budgets that the schools have developed.
Okay, if there's no questions, that comes as a recommendation, so I'll entertain a motion for a second.
Second.
Second by Mr. Davis. Any discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries.
Okay, as I said a while ago, these are all general purpose budgets, and I wanted to say, you know, a budget is just a spending plan, and has to be, you know, changed from time to time, and keeping in mind that some of these budgets are prepared months ahead of time. I've done a real good job of holding the amount of amendments down and so forth, or changes to our general purpose budget. But this 71,100 represents the bulk of our teachers, and the first line item on there is Social Security, of course, and it's necessary to increase that particular fund by $25,000. We have, you know, teachers coming and going, not knowing, you know, exactly what is what. This is kind of fluid, so $25,000 is the increase to that line item. Medicare kind of the same way, and the increase on it is going to be $15,000. To kind of balance that out, we have decreases, and they've chosen to decrease the amount allocated for textbooks by $20,000, and software that you know, that we're going to purchase, reducing that by $20,000 as well. So that balances out. The increase is $40,000 to Social Security and employee Medicare, and the reduction of $20,000 from textbooks and software is also $40,000. So that balances out. The next one, 72,130,207, medical insurance. There again, you don't know what the teachers are going to sign up for, which plan they're going to sign up for on the beginning. So we originally budgeted $104,600 for that. It would be necessary to increase that by $10,000. Along with that, the same thing, not knowing what they're going to do, the hybrid stabilization plus $1,226 now shows an increase of $700. And to other equipment is where some of this is going to come from. It's recommended that is going to be decreased by $10,700, taken from that particular line over there. All right, the next one pertains to a grant. Okay, a grant that Grand Junction Elementary School has enjoyed for 2 years now, I believe. They're going to have to be taken out of this particular grant this year, but the good news is that four of our other schools are going to be able to participate in it. And that would be Bolivar Elementary School, Hornsby Elementary School, Middleton High School, and Whiteville Elementary School. And I think the main thing that this grant provides is training for our teachers and maybe some incentives for our students. So anyway, we think this is a good program. It is a grant, so we're glad to see the other schools be able to participate. It wasn't anything because Grand Junction did anything wrong or anything like that. I guess the life of the program was just 2 years for them, so they really hated to lose it. If they lose it, these other 4 schools are going to be able to participate. All right, the next amendment, 72,150, 72,250, 120, and 72,250, 105. Is from the IT department. You probably know we had to replace our IT supervisor with an interim, And the first item on that is it's showing as a computer programmer, but that is to provide a stipend for the guy that is taking the supervisor's place in that capacity, and that would be an increase of $10,000 for his added responsibilities and so forth. And then a reduction of $10,000 coming from the category of the supervisor director. The next one is probably the bleakest page of these amendments. There again, the first line item on it is about unemployment, and it seems that we didn't allocate enough for unemployment. Even there were a couple or three unemployment claims that were made that we really didn't think that we were gonna have to pay them, but we did. So it's gonna be necessary to have an increase of $15,000 in that line item. The next thing is for legal services, and this has hit us quite hard this year. It's going to be necessary to increase that line item from $15,000 to $40,000, which would be an increase of $25,000. And as you very well know, we've had lawyers at more meetings this year than I can ever remember. And we've also had a lot of consultations between attorney and board personnel and so forth. Teacher investigations that attorneys or personnel, instead of teacher I should say, investigations that the attorneys have to be involved in. And then we had a mini retreat, you remember, with Ben Torrens. And I'll just tell you that cost us $2,000. So that was something that it was necessary, but it was something that we usually don't do. The in-service and staff development line items, 72,310, 524. It's going to be necessary to increase that by $15,000 also. It was, the current budget was $10,000, and the final amended budget will be $25,000. And I have to tell you that TSBA is a chunk of that. It seems like TSBA, our expenditures there keep going up, and it's going to be necessary to increase it. This is just kind of a side note. I guess everybody knows, but just as a reminder, and I don't really like this, but you know, we pay the registration fees up there, and then two of those sessions, if you go to them, they cost extra. The legal session that some of us go to, or some of y'all might have went to, and also the legislative session. And I believe that's what, $200 a piece or something for that. I'm not saying that we shouldn't go to them. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying that they do charge when we go to those sessions, even though we've already paid our registration fees and so forth. The good note of this particular budget is that travel is going to be able to be reduced by $15,000 from $25,000 down to $10,000. Okay, yeah, I skipped that. Fund balance, the undesignated fund balance, $40,000 will be coming out of that. So that, as I said on the beginning, this particular thing hit us kind of hard this year, $40,000. I have skipped one somewhere, I believe. Is this for the accounting? Yeah. This is Lisa's department, the accounting. Oh, I looked at the wrong one.
Oh, that's good.
Okay.
Yeah, right.
Okay. This is the accounting department, 72,510, 212. Our Medicare's increased by $1,500, and the office supplies increased by $500. But the administrative equipment, Lisa's decided to forego a couple of purchases, maybe for computers or something, so that's gonna be a negative or a decrease of $2,000. Okay. I know I'll run through that and didn't do too good a job. Brad was supposed to take it. Does anybody have any questions? If not, that's where he can come in there, he can answer your questions. If not, those amendments do come as a recommendation from the budget committee.
Okay, we have six budget amendments, they all come as recommendations from the budget committee. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Swift. Any discussion or questions on any one of the six? If not, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Okay. I'm gonna get up here so I can face you guys, because as always, when we get this board of distinction, I am very proud of the work you guys do. Normally, first of all, I'm the Southwest District Director. Normally, I go to other school boards and make this presentation. We have 11 school systems in our district. Of those 11, only 4 are board of distinction. Out of the 141 school systems in the state, only about 35 to 36 are board of distinction. So not very many school systems meet the criteria to be board of distinction. You have to meet the criteria in different things like plan and promotion, policy, and board development. Those are just some of the things. And this is one of TSBA's most prestigious awards because there's so many qualifications you have to do. They're not individual awards like a lot of their other awards are. This is a group effort by the school board. So it is my honor to present the Hardeman County School Board again this year with the Board of Distinction. So good job, guys. We appreciate it. Okay, at this time we'll turn it over to Dr. Smith for the director's report.
First of all, I want to say thank you to the board for the majority vote of confidence that you've shown in me to continue the work that we have underway in this district. I take that trust seriously. Over the past few months, I've provided you with a lot of information that demonstrates measurable, significant improvements in a lot of areas, and this doesn't happen by chance. It takes the results and the work of a lot of people out there, the staffs of the teams that we put together, and it's the cohesive support of this board helps. Leadership in public education also often requires navigating complex challenges, and sometimes there are situations where there's no perfect solution. There's just a lot of no-win situations. But even in those moments, our responsibility is to remain focused on the students, grounded in the facts that we have in front of us, and committed to do what's right for the long-term success of our students. As we move forward, I believe our strongest decisions are made when personal perspectives do not outweigh our shared responsibility to serve students, families, and staff. Keeping our work centered on the interests of those we serve allows us to move forward with trust, clarity, and a continued commitment to our mission. I remain committed to transparency, collaboration, and continuous improvement, and I look forward to continuing this work together as we serve our students, our district, and our communities. With that being said, we appreciate you. The work that you do does not go unnoticed. A lot of times it's a very difficult no-win situation for a lot of you as well. But during the ice storm, we did have the Tennessee School Board Appreciation Week. So this is one of the posts that we put out. But we appreciate our school board and all the work they do. It's often a thankless job, and it's a hard job sometimes because you have to make hard decisions. And most importantly, those decisions affect the lives of children, and it's a very important task that you do. But thank you for everything you do, and we appreciate you greatly. Speaking of Winter Storm Fern, this was one of the first things we sent out prior to dismissing for school that Friday, not knowing that it would be 2 very long weeks before we returned. But I want to say a special thanks tonight for our maintenance and transportation guys. Maintenance was out that Monday and Tuesday assessing buildings, stopping leaks, figuring out what was going on. Transportation was out with me Sunday trying to figure out which roads we could and could not run. A lot of hours when others were not working, they were out there in the cold making things evaluating things to see what we could do, so I'm very appreciative of the work that they do. With that being said, in all those 10 days, I'm gonna give you an update as of this afternoon. This seems to be a little fluid, but we think we have it right at this point. We used 10 of our days. We asked for a waiver for 5 days to be waived. It was returned this afternoon. We received 4 of those days to be waived. So in the end, what that means is we have 1 day left to use, but we have 2 other PD days to work with the remainder of the semester. And one of those is a scheduled PD already. We really don't want to touch it, but another one is very doable. So we basically have 3 days that we can work with. We have 2 days remote. So we still have a little flexibility there, but we do not need another 10 days out of school. We really don't need any more weather events, but that's where we are as of now. I think there were a lot of waivers coming in and going out, so if we get any updates on that, I'll let you know, but that's where we were as of about 3:30 today. All right, I believe on January the 7th, you guys may have gotten an email from an email called accountabilityhearing@tennessee.gov. And we had to have a meeting with them before I brought some of this to you, because I wanted to understand better what we were facing and be able to answer questions. And we've had one of those meetings. We have another one, I believe, next week. So we'll go to that. But basically, this is what it is. Letter grades from the Tennessee Department of Education are one way that they look at school performance. These grades are based on several things, including student achievement growth. In high school, it's credit, CCR certifications, basically, achievement, growth, those types of things. Last year was a baseline. We did get school letter grades, but there were no reactions tied to those. That has changed. Last year, Bolivar Middle School received an F. This year, again, they received an F and a level 1 TBOS. Whiteville Elementary was a D last year and declined to an F this year, also with level 1 TBOS. So that is why they became targeted on this accountability hearing. Because of this, we have a required team that will travel to Nashville on March 23rd to meet with the Tennessee State Board of Education. Leading up to that meeting, we're looking at data. We're working closely with current practices and developing action plans that can help us align with state expectations. We're going to have to go. We've had to answer a lot of questions on a pre-hearing. Once we get there, we'll have to answer more questions, and when we come out with that, they will provide us with additional guidance and next steps of what those schools have to do. In the past, our schools have operated with a lot of local flexibility, but when our performance reaches a level where we have to go to Nashville to a hearing, the state expects more direct and focused action. This doesn't reflect that that there's a lack of effort anywhere, but it just signals that one of the current approaches somewhere is not leading to the outcomes that our students deserve. So moving forward, we're looking at more clear improvement plans, data information, and monitoring these things to see if this hasn't worked in the past, we've got to change it. So some of the autonomy may come out of those schools a little bit as we adjust these plans and see what the state board recommends. Are there any questions on that accountability hearing? I believe Mr. Henderson, myself, Ms. Higgs, and Mr. Rutherford are required by law to attend that. So, think of us on March 23rd. All right. Another thing that we are working with is part of the progressive intervention system that the Department of Education has placed Whiteville in. They have placed them in Tier 1. And basically, there's 3 steps we have to do. There's several steps, but the first thing we had to do was decide if we wanted to use an LEA-led evidence-based turnaround intervention that the state had already approved, contract with an independent school turnaround expert approved by the state, or implement options from 2 and 3. And I can tell you, you don't want to look at options 2 and 3. So we had to choose one of those, and then in addition to that, we have to write a district turnaround plan, a school turnaround plan. We will be getting a grant with this Tier 1 placement. We think we have an idea of what that number will be, but it has not been certified yet. We will have to do district quarterly walkthroughs. The Department of Ed will come down and do walkthroughs. we'll have to do a lot of data submissions throughout the year, and then we'll have to produce an end of the year report. But we have already started a lot of steps. We started some steps with them before we knew this status was going to be there. We've met with staff, we've held a parent information night, we've looked at using a turnaround expert group to come in and help us down. We have it narrowed down to 2. We're just waiting on the grant funds to see which way we can go. They're working with PLCs at Whiteville. They've provided additional support position to Whiteville. Ms. Sane is already involved with instruction partners and how to develop PLCs and do different things with that, helping her build leadership capacity. And they've had an action plan in place for about 1.5 years now between the district and her. So there are a lot of steps already in place. We will see how this goes as we progress, but we will know more in the next 2 or 3 weeks, hopefully after we go to some more meetings. Any questions on that one? Now for the better news stuff. For the first time in a while, Bolivar Middle School boys will be headed to the state tournament, I believe, Friday. So they have made it all the way to state, and we'll find out Friday how they do. The famous Pancake Day will be coming back to Bolivar Elementary on February the 21st. Tickets are $8 each, and you can buy those at the door this year. Bolivar Central High School recently announced that they have several students that were recognized as passing their EKG technician certificates. This is a really big deal because most of these students already had CNA. So they have 2 certificates that they could go to work with directly out of high school. So big deal for those students. Parent-teacher conferences were held on January the 20th across the district. We had good participation in that. The spelling bee has been rescheduled, I believe, for the 3rd time with the winter storm for February 23rd at 6 o'clock, and this will be held at Bolivar Central Auditorium. Just a couple of things that we picked up again, like in January, we've been out for 2 weeks with Christmas. Well, now we've been out 2 weeks again, so I don't have a whole lot to put on the schools, but this was really neat. Right before the winter storm came in, Southwest Human Resources brought a lot of gloves to Grand Junction Elementary, so those students were able to take gloves home with them before that storm. The retired teachers of Hardeman County has provided a lot of supplies to a lot of the campuses. I just pulled this one off as a picture, but several campuses received supplies from the Retired Teacher Association. Middleton High School has a student, Miss Harmony Bell, who is up for Class A Miss Basketball. Most of our schools have celebrated the 100th day of school, and if you've had a student who's ever had to dress up, those days can be very fun for the students, but we have surpassed 100 days of school. While we were out, we also, in addition to School Board Appreciation Week, celebrated National School Counseling Week. We have a lot of counselors out there that wear a lot of hats and deal with a lot of situations, and we appreciate the work that they do. The other thing I have is, we've talked about the retreat. Because of the budget, I believe we probably need to have this at Hope Street and at Lone Oaks. And the date that I came up with, because all the dates in February got messed up by the winter storm, if March 12th and 13th works for everybody, if we need to table this, we can. I just wanted to put it out there to see.
We will have a meeting for them.
Yes.
But we won't, I guess y'all already have everything prepared, won't you? Johnny, that ain't the week of,
That's the week of state tournaments.
Just say okay. Well, we will regroup and I will come up with some alternative dates.
So those dates are not possibilities then? We'll put them in like.
Well, we'll know next week, John?
Pretty close.
We're close to next week if those are possibilities.
Okay.
Any questions for me?
Okay, one quick note of housekeeping. If you have not filed your financial disclosure statement with the state of Tennessee, do not forget to do it. It comes with a hefty fine.
Quite serious.
Sure does. Yeah, it comes with a $500 fine if you don't. $500, another $1,000.
Yeah,
So anyway, I got that letter last year. I think everybody could tell who they got the letter by.
Well, I mean, it was, the reason I done this is because I was elected in September, and I had to do one right then, so I didn't think I had to do another one that January. Cause I didn't get an email, well, go about 6 months and don't, they'll send you a letter.
If you do it the day you get your
I said,
notification.
I said, shoot, they gonna fine you more than you make.
That's right.
It's just a reminder, just a reminder.
I don't forget.
Just for knowing, I got the same letters. Anyway, I'll entertain a motion, we adjourn.
I make that motion.
Motion made by Ms. Carter, second by Mr. Davis, all in favor say aye. Any opposed?